Alrighty, hello every folks, and good morning. Welcome to, well, another patch update for One Vision here. So he just released version 9.7.3, which definitely goes into the woods a whole lot here. So let's get into it. First thing on the list here is the Phorampa Wildwood battles got reworked. So basically this means stuff like, well, basically all the usual things you'd expect from One Vision. Your trickshot archers, your two-hander swordmasters, all the other cool stuff and tricks and whatever else are on all of the units in Phorampa. Additionally, second thing on the list here is for the Act 2 section of Phorampa. For anyone unfamiliar, that's that first little route you can take to the right. In the vanilla game, you could originally go there in order to pick up some advanced classes early, so ninjas, swordmasters, rogues, that kind of thing. However, if RNG was just not feeling it that day, you could end up sitting there and grinding for quite a while to get those class marks. Sometimes you got them right away, sometimes you just got nothing. It was all up to the whims of the RNG before. So those class marks at below level 15 are now guaranteed. Looks like yeah, so you can get all of those much faster. Additionally, it looks like Necromancy, so Banish, Rebuild, Brain Rot, for the Act 2 section, Curse and Life Force for the Act 3 section, Living Dead, Putrefy, Frenzy for the Act 4 section, all got added for certain undead or dark magic characters throughout Phorampa there. So if you want to have your Necromancer team there you go. All your stuff's available way earlier. There is a Cenobite that got added to Lie Down in Green Pastures, so those are basically those blue priests. They will drop a guaranteed Sibyl's Mark, and also has a few more that are stealable if you want them. So basically a bit later on in there, but Sibyl's Mark are the priest class, so that's for Denim and Cashwell. As well as, what's her face? Why can I not remember her name right now? Divold and Oleus. So, yeah, she's the other one there. A Blood Hunter got added to Wonder at the Gods Above. That's another one of those very end maps. That'll drop a Braves Mark and has a few more to steal, so that's the Ranger, so Vice's class. Let's see, just like the Grim Reaper that has the Reapering, there's two special units that'll only appear at levels 21 and above. Okay. Oh, additionally, actually, there's one section that I missed here, which was about the body snatching stuff. So, in vanilla, if you weren't aware, because a lot of folks weren't aware of this mechanic at all, the Ogre Blade essentially had a function on it in which you could body snatch somebody. Basically, this meant that you could go through all 100 floors of Palace of the Dead, get to the very end, have a chance to go pick up that Ogre Blade, and then lose it in order to rename a monster unit. Not exactly the most ideal thing in the world, but it was the only way you could rename monster units. It was also the only way that you could teach Canopus how to use a gun. But at any rate, that originally got shifted over to phylacteries, which would drop from the Feral Shore, so that's that beach map with all the zombies in it. That said, though, apparently there was some sort of issue with that, so it actually got changed to body-snatching daggers. So these are called Cipher Shards. They basically look like a recolor of the parrying dagger. And, yeah, they will drop them instead. Now, apparently there's, like... They're mentioned as shape-shifting addicts. I originally misread this as them just, like, regularly being shapeshifters. I hope they kind of use them during the fight. I don't think they actually have the script to be able to. That'd be cool if they could, though. Anyway, let's see. All humanoid units in Phorampa now have a chance to drop tarot cards as loot to help replenish your booby trap supplies. Each class has their card except for rogues, which drop the wild card. Which that part I'm really excited about because that basically sounds like the Joker tarot. Anywho, we'll cover more on that in a moment. But yeah, generally around the end game with how Lou was reworked, there tended to be a bit of a drop off in available cards. So thankfully that's a bit more available there, because a lot of folks tend to grind in Phorampa if they really feel like grinding. But there you go. It's a fun set of maps to repeatedly go through. I kind of wish that... This is kind of an unpopular opinion on it, but I kind of wish that they took the Palace of the Dead, low experience mechanic and kind of had other dungeons do that same thing. because I like that whole feeling of just repeatedly going through maps and whatever else, but I really hate the whole, like, hey, you get a million level ups out of it kind of thing, because, I mean, it kind of goes out of control with some challenge runs. Either way, whatever. Anyway, moving on. All things considered, you pretty much don't need to grind most of the time anyway. So, octopi don't have any elixirs anymore. They will be added to other places as Phorampa is a bit too convenient. Very true, you could essentially get infinite lives there. A duel at the end of Chapter 2 on Chaos should be easier now. Fair enough. Apparently some folks were having issues with that one. Understandable. Alright. Equipment. So, axes, spears, and hammers will now side-grade the previous weapon tier and upgrade it to the current one. This means that it will have one-handed and two-handed options at every tier instead of normal and side grade. Having the option to use the other weapon variant is probably better for some classes than not having the option at that tier at all. They are technically side grades. They will randomly appear on enemies. Because of the above, some weapons have been renamed. Their type was changed. Be sure to check your axe, spear, and hammer users for any weapon incompatibility. Those weapons will be auto-unequipped after the first battle, so you might enter the next one unarmed. And that's basically going to happen anytime that there's a equipment update on a larger scale. But yes, I will say hammers in particular, I really prefer the look of that whole tab there. It just looks so much cleaner now. I'm sure I wasn't the only one that got bothered by this before, but in the past, there was a bit of an issue when it came to the hammer tab, in which everything was just astoundingly silver all the time. I don't know. Weird complaint, probably, but either way. So as far as what was changed, you can kind of see here a few things got a little bit changed in terms of their order. I like that this was renamed to the glaive. It definitely looks like one. This got changed to the winged pike. So a few things got minorly moved around there. The hammers in particular, like I said, have a lot more, when you're going down the list, they've got a lot more variety now. So that's nice to see. Also, this is now the Morning Star instead of the flanged mace. I believe he said there was actually a... nope, I guess nothing was renamed as flanged mace. Fair enough. It makes more sense, though. I still wish this was the hauled hammer, but again, that's just personal preference. And then let's take a look at the axes real quick. I believe there was... I think the Glamrock recolor was a little while ago. Let's see, what else is new? I want to say this one got changed. Let's see, the Sagaris, I believe, is a newer one now. The Silverhawk is new. You know, just general kind of aesthetic kind of stuff there. Alright, moving right along here. And for the maps I was talking about, these are the, this is the Chapter 2 area. This is kind of the Chapter 3 area, and then over down that way and beyond is the Chapter 4 area. And over here is the Feral Shore. That's where you're going to find all them zombie-type dealies. And let's go ahead and take a look at those two new shapeshifters, see what they're all about. Okay, side-graded axes now delay RT counter on hit, delay RT... Oh, there we go. So yeah, they delay the RT counter instead of inflicting slow. It was a bit too similar to two-handed hammers. Fair enough. Where are these shapeshifters at? Let's see if we ended up getting the spawn. Yeah, there we go. There's the Cypher Shards. So, pretty simple there. Basically, they're just pretty much low everything daggers that you end up just picking up off them. Gonna take one quick peek here, because I actually forgot to check what level they're at. Because they've got really low damage. I never really thought about what level they're available at. And yeah, they're level... Okay, you know what? That actually potentially changes the level 1 run a bit. Oh man, I can't wait to do a level 1 run of One Vision now. Okay, anyway, I need to finish editing that final one man, one goal, one vision. Anywho, okay, so side-graded two-handed hammers have been changed to Colossus hammers with guaranteed knockback and significant HP boost. So they're basically Fell Seal hammers now. Amount of TP on both types of katana removal was increased, so that's handy in general. The Ring of Words grants more resistance. From what I saw, this was like a 50% increase, give or take, which is good, because they did actually reduce resistance across the board, as well as improving the Ring of Words resistance boost. Basically, this just translates to, hey, you know, Ring of Words is better now. There's actually a reason to equip it. So either way, moving on, let's see, added the Cypher Shard, a dagger with the body snatch ability is equipable by any humanoid class. Yep, already got that. Alright, consumables. Some of the grenades weren't usable by certain classes because they were using hard-coded ability slots. It should be fixed now. And yeah, like it says, it just basically meant that certain classes were just not using them right, so that's all corrected. Phylactery was removed. There's no way for the item to get consumed on use. And that's what the daggers are for now. Here's a big one, though. Add the wild card. It can be turned into any tarot using the transcription crafting book. Now, I say it's a big one, but okay. It's basically the Joker tarot from March of the Black Queen, except, yeah, you need a crafting book to be able to change it. We're going to take a look at the end of this to see what exactly is different in it. I don't know what the requirements are off the top of my head. That said, here's another big one, though. The crystals are now a consumable that can be used in battle to get the instill effect, which basically means that, yes, item users now can get instills. So that's pretty neat, you know, it's just a cool little touch. Just slap that glowy rock on your hammer and suddenly you shoot lightning. Alright, classes. Some classes now have lower magic resistance, which should make DPS mages more consistently effective. The Lich is tougher, and the Cyclops can use Burst 2. Which, yes, DPS mages were definitely dropping off. That's why they said that magic resistance ended up dropping a little bit, because, yeah, they would, just like vanilla, there was kind of that whole thing where at a certain point, when it came to different types of spells and whatever else, like weapon attack will always be weapon attack. Somebody just equips a better weapon, okay, they have that better weapon attack. But spells, because their attack is, you know, for that spell itself, it just kind of creates a situation where occasionally anyone that was going for more DPS than other things would just end up getting pretty much armored out of the way. Alright, so we'll see. We'll see how much effect it has in general. But basically this should narrow the gap a little bit, because before it was like you had your basic mages, they were pretty strong early on, then they ended up dropping off, and then you had a huge power spike for draconic mages and stuff like that. So hopefully that evens it out. Alright, spells and abilities. Basic area damage spells will now match the level progression of projectiles, with the first area spell starting at level 8 along with projectile 2. Their damage has been significantly improved, but TP and MP costs are also higher. That I'm happy with, because yes, there was a certain point kind of later towards the end game where basically certain spells would end up getting spammed non-stop, and when you see somebody coming in with like a tier 4 and it's just like, okay, you've used that 5 turns in a row, could you maybe chill on the crazy damage? Yeah, having a better initial hit and then just lowering the amount they get cost sounds like a pretty solid change. Putrefy necromancy spells have also been improved. Good, it might do stuff now. Summon Darkness necromancy that some bosses use now costs less MP, and it will delay the user by 100 RT. So good, they don't immediately get their turn after use. It was kind of a niche situation, but it did cause people some issues where they would go to Nibith for the first time, and he would go and use Summon Undead, completely surround himself with dudes, and then go take out the one guy that maybe had a chance to hurt him. Either way, he should be a lot more newbie-friendly with that one. Though, in general, this was something you'd see relatively often. You know, basically they just got a bunch of dudes for free. Alright, moving on. Half of damage traps have been converted to area damage. They will damage your units too, so be careful. They do the same damage as single-tile traps, but cause no status effects. Except light and dark, which do less damage and have a minor status. So I'm really glad. Yeah, the traps got buffed, as if rogues and their traps weren't already just amazing. Yeah, they now can cause even more chaos, which is just great. Remaining single-tile traps will only use the strongest status effects, so presumably like binds and shackles and that kind of thing. Shadow Break now also inflicts Breach, so huge buff to Terror Knights. That's 2 patches in a row that there's been huge buffs to Terror Knights. They should be one hell of a powerhouse at this point. I mean, that's AoE friggin' attack plus Breach. That is insane. Combine that with Fear, and yeah, they're probably one of the strongest units now. Yeah, I need to redo that tier list. Which, by the way, there was a question earlier over when that whole, like, comparing all the classes in multiplayer thing is coming out. That thing's taken forever to actually get, you know, condensed down to less than 1 billion frickin' hours, so that'll come out when it comes out. Anyway, moving on. Denim can't change into Heretic anymore. The sprite override that the class needs to function was overriding his default sprite 2 when you whirled back to the first chapter. Weird. Huh. I guess he turned into Casho for a little bit. But yeah, there we go. That's all of 973. Pretty big changes on that one. Let's go take a look at something real quick here, because I'm gonna take a look at some of these options to see how much they've changed. Because I will say I haven't had a chance to go through and look through every single one of these things already, but I will say being able to use crystals to get in stills, really solid change. Wildcards should be really useful for very oddly specific endgame scenarios. Especially, like, what's got me excited about that one is just the fact that, yeah, there's certain cards that if you were going for a trap build, you would end up with, you know, way too many of, like, oh yeah, this does fire damage over here, whoop-de-doo-dah, but then you would end up using all the ones that cause Ivory Tower or cause a heal or whatever else. So let's go ahead and get out of this map here. As you might tell, the fights in Phorampa are way more interesting now, so just more fun in general. So go down to, what was it here? Go down to transcription here. Alright, so what do we need for these? So you literally just need a wildcard to be able to do these. Can you make wildcards with this? Okay, it doesn't look like you can actually create wildcards here. Can you buy them? Or is this strictly a Phorampa drop kind of situation? It does seem like something specifically that you'll have to get in Phorampa, which is all well and good. You can basically go grind for traps there. I was kind of thinking there would be some kind of option to turn like 5 of another card into a wild card or something. That would be pretty busted though. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure that there aren't available slots to make that even happen. And okay, what else? Oh yeah, so hammers. Let's go take a look at how good those hammers are real quick. So yeah, these are the chunky boy hammers. So yeah, about 50, 60-ish extra health. I'm maxing out at 80. Oh wow. Oh yeah, so yeah, Cursed Hammer gives you 80 extra health. So let's see, how many health boosts can we actually get then? So I might be missing something, but it looks like the new maximum for health in one vision then is 846 if running a Lord with the Cursed Hammer, the Dark Set, and a Crest of Fire, or the Wolf Ring, or Wolf Earrings. So anyway, that's kind of neat. But alright, hopefully you'll find something you're looking for here. Oh, let's take a look at those hammers real quick, see what differences they end up showing. I will say on the katanas and that kind of thing, we won't really be able to see that they remove more on this menu, but you know, they will end up just doing more. And yeah, it's just RT delay. It looks like they don't have overpower on the one-handed later variants anymore. I could have sworn that they still did, but I might be mistaken on that one. All right, so that's that. You guys have fun. You guys have fun with this whole thing, and yeah, look forward to experimenting more with it. I know that this has absolutely changed my plans for a lot of challenge runs as far as all this stuff goes, because you can do so many things with wild cards, and you can definitely do so many different things with those cipher shards now. I really hope that level 1 requirement doesn't change, because there's so many fun shenanigans that can potentially be done with that. Anyway, you guys have a good one. Take care.